Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super happy because I am in New Mexico and I'm going to share something very awesome with you. Now, the last time that I was in this particular area I got snowed on, so I decided I was going to come back a little bit later in the year. It is about mid-April right now, which seems to be a pretty nice time, but there's still a little bit of a chill and a crispness in the air, so I did go ahead and put on a hoodie. But today I'm going to show you a free campsite outside of Cloudcroft, New Mexico. Again, guys, as you can see, it is gorgeous and it's such an easy one to access. In fact, just beyond this road right over here is the main road. Although we're not very far back, I can't hear any of the road noise at all. In fact, I almost feel like I'm being a little bit loud even talking to you guys, because even though I have neighbors, it's so quiet out here. So since it is so quiet, I think I'm gonna take a quiet walk around the camp area and show you guys what you need to come out and check out at this particular site. Now, I found this on freecampsites.net. It was very easy to access, and again, costs $0 to stay here. But wow. Now, anytime that I come to a campsite, I look around my spot first and clean up anything that might have been left. And I saw a couple small things that we're going to pick up. Always do this because that keeps these kind of lands available to us going forward in the future, because we're leaving it better than we found it. I think that's just super, super important. So let me show you what I found. Okay, first and foremost, we saw this, which is just like a little anchor. Looks like somebody dropped it. And then also a bottle cap. So little things. And let's keep looking. Oh, here's another one. Yep, definitely gonna have to throw these away. But it looks like somebody left yet another one. Normally I wear gloves to do this. Don't know why I didn't today. No idea. Gonna have to extra clean my hands. But look at this. This is stuff that was just like randomly left. And now we're gonna take it out of here because, well, it has no place in nature. This is not where it belongs. Do not do this. The sun is popping out just a little bit and it's perfect right here. It's so cozy, and with the hoodie it makes for perfect weather. But let's explore a little bit more. Okay, inside the van it's time to move the jackery to the top of the fridge, and I am going to put away this bag because I picked up something pretty cool. Whenever I was at Walmart earlier today, they had leggings on sale for $4. And well, we all know I love a good pair of leggings. Inside it looks like some of my blankets toppled over, but that's okay. Those are just blankets, no big deal. But everything else looks pretty good, considering I couldn't open my door this morning. Yay! Now, something else I regularly do if I know I'm going to be taking off the next day is I go ahead and pull out whatever I'm going to wear for tomorrow. That way I don't have to dig around in the morning. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my clothes that I'm going to wear tomorrow and have them all set so that way I'm already ready. Already. I think this will be a nice touch tomorrow, maybe with one of those new pairs of leggings. This is one of the designs that I have currently in my shop. And yeah, look at that. Ooh, that could be fun. Now, normally this is the part of the day where I flip out the back table here and I go ahead and cook my meal. And I was really thinking that was what was going to happen. But when I stopped off earlier today at a burrito shop and the food was just big, larger than life, I no longer need to cook. I have leftovers. So I'll just be crawling in the back in a little while with some leftovers. No big deal. But I do have some other things that do have to get accomplished tonight. I have to edit. You guys like videos? I need to edit some. So I'm going to crawl in the back in a minute and start working on that. But before I do, I have to download some footage. So let's do that. Also, while we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and do my windows because it just makes it easier if I do it before it actually gets dark. That way I can see a little bit better, especially in places that don't have exterior light. The nice thing about this campground is it is a natural space. So you don't have those light leaks coming through your windows because there's an overhead security light or something. With that said, after dark, you're liable to hear more little animal sounds than you normally would if you stayed at a conventional campground. So there's pros and cons. Now, many of you have asked me along the way if I ever get nervous staying in places that are more remote like this. And to answer that question, sometimes. There are some times whenever you hear some weird things outside of your van and you're just like, what is that? And so you kind of have to should I look through the window? Should I not? Should I honk my horn? Should I not? That's why I always keep my keys extremely close to where I am. In fact, I have a little bunny hanger that I added to the shelf for my keys, but also if I'm sleeping in the different orientation because I might be on a hill, I keep them right by my head. I also keep something to protect myself at all times, and that really has lightened the feeling of heaviness whenever I'm in a more remote area. So I hope that helps you guys if you're watching. Now, after I've gotten my windows all taken care of, the next thing that I do is, if I do have cellular signal, which I do at this campground, I let someone know where I'm at. I'll either drop a pin to them or I'll give them a call to say, hey, this is where I am. If you haven't heard from me by a certain time, this is where I am. So that's always super helpful also for giving me a more settled feeling, because then someone knows where I am and it draws attention to the fact that if something were to happen, someone would be looking for me. And again, it's just safety measures. Tons and tons of safety measures that I have built in over the last 5 years of travel. So let's do that next. Okay, and for this, all I'm going to do is just go to my phone, and then you can go to your little locator, which is on Google Maps right here, and then you can send your current location, which I always like to do. Now, this is my group chat that I use, where I am with my friends who are all nomads. Now, in addition to my friends, I also send one to my parents, and then also I have a security buddy who is outside of that group who actually has my phone where she can see where I'm at any given time. That's my friend Anika. So I have tons of people who at any given time, if I were to go missing, would know where I am. Not to mention, I have a few other safety measures that I have taken myself in my personal van to make sure that nothing happens. And I definitely advise those for you guys if you're just starting out. But let's enjoy a little bit more of this campsite. Okay, so a lot of you watched the video where I was making sure that I had my shelf secured correctly and filling it in. It's pretty full right now because I stocked up completely on groceries and just kind of spewed them over into this. So I'm still working on the organization part, but everything has a place and it doesn't fall, so that's good. But something that I discovered last night was that I can use my little magnet mount, this little guy right here, that I picked up on Amazon, in addition to this cell phone mount, which I also picked up on Amazon, and I can place it right here. And when I do, this is a really nice, easy way for me to then take my phone and put it right here, and then I can screw it in, and it is at head level from where I sleep when I sleep on this end. Therefore, I can watch movies on my phone from bed, hands-free. So that's kind of cool. I know a lot of people got super excited about the magnet mount because they thought that there was a magnet also on the phone that would then just stick to the wall. But that's not the case. It doesn't work that way. The magnet is actually just on the mount, not on the phone. So I wanted to come up with a solution, and initially I thought, oh, I'll just buy another magnet mount. And then it occurred to me, duh, I already have something I can use. So that's kind of a cool thing. And if you have metal on your walls, I'm going to leave the link below so that you can find one of these also, because they're awesome. Okay guys, this is what it looks like when I am in my van working. I'm airdropping from my phone over to my laptop because I recorded a little bit on my phone today. I'm about to download everything that's on this card also. And as you can see, I'm in lounge mode. I'm able to comfortably sit and just enjoy this particular space. This is awesome. And then out my door, I have this beautiful view of the forest. Look at that. Amazing. It is starting to get a little bit later in the day. It's about 6:30. And so you can see that the sun has moved over to that section of the forest, and soon it will be going down. I love how the van feels on a day like today. I have the nice breeze coming in. It's perfect. I have the lights on just to give a little extra light because it does get pretty cavernous and dark in here. And then I'm able to, again, comfortably sit in this particular position, which is the position I like to edit in. It's slightly slouched, slightly more loungy, and I can do this on this side using my blankets behind me, or I can put one of my pillows up against the back door and do the same thing. So this is how I like to spend my evenings in my van when I'm at a beautiful site. And I'm gonna finish up now. Again though, look at this room that I have over here. I know I have 14,000 pillows, but I love this space. This is amazing. And as I work and as I airdrop things, I prioritize things in folders. A lot of you ask me how I'm able to produce so many videos. Well, this is how right here. I'm able to just throw it off into these folders in a more organized fashion. And so I know how to import them. I know each individual setting that I need to change and everything else. So that's it for this. Now, my laptop is my workhorse, so it pulls a lot of my power. So I'm plugged into my Jackery right now because, well, this is the side that I'm sitting on. If I were sitting on that side, I'd be plugged into the Blue Eddy. I have one strategically placed on each side of the van so I can make my work a little bit easier. So yeah, that's that. Since I'm about to lose the light, I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of the last few little moments, let my laptop charge, and then come back and finish editing after dark. Let's go walk around. Now, before we lose all the light, let's talk a little bit more about freecampsites.net, which is where I found this site. It's a wonderful resource if you're looking to find campsites, but one of the things that I personally have discovered is that sometimes the description and the reviews are not completely up to date. So if someone hasn't been to that site in a while, things might have changed. Whenever you're staying at a national forest or a BLM camp, always go and cross-reference their sites individually to make sure that they haven't closed the area. That way you're not putting all your eggs in one basket only to get here and then it be closed. That's the best thing that you can do. I've been doing that for quite some time, in addition to checking other resources like iOverlander or Free Roam. And if I do those, usually I can find a good site like this one. And so I encourage you guys to do that. But wow, it's beautiful. And the clouds today are amazing. I always love a good cloudy sky. It just makes it a little bit more dramatic for photos. And it just makes it a little bit more beautiful to watch as you're sitting and working on things. Now, as it's getting a little bit later, you'll notice there's some bugs. They're coming out. So I'm going to turn my lights over to the amber setting to distract them from the interior of all my yummy happiness that's going on inside. Because the last thing I want to do is wake up and be all itchy from like mosquitoes or something. It also occurred to me that I needed to eat this salad tonight, and when I pulled it out, do you notice that it's bubbling on the top? I bought this at lower elevation and then came to higher elevation, and this is what happens with those kind of containers. So when I open this, I'm gonna have to be really careful that nothing flies out at me. A big tip in instances like this, purchase at similar elevations. I just kind of forgot. My bad, guys. My bad. If I have an explosion of salad, this is gonna be wild. But I'm crossing my fingers that won't happen. We'll see. But I have had a quinoa cup or two. And there was a lot of cleaning up to do. Good morning, adventurers. Oh, I literally just rolled out of bed. It was so quiet here last night. I slept like a log. I woke up this morning though and I'm a little congested. I think it's from being in the desert and then changing temperatures last night. It did get a little bit cooler, so fun times. So what I think I'm going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit more of where I stayed and also driving out toward the road, how far it was in. Now there are campsites well beyond where I personally am staying. It goes pretty deep back on this forest road and there are pull-offs in every direction. And easily you could get in here with a rig of about any size. Now I will say this, once you start getting larger, I would start looking closer to the front because I walked a little bit of that road last night. Some of it gets a little bit like this, and we know what happens whenever you have a larger trailer and this. It doesn't end up well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you around just a little bit, show you the road, and then I am going to go into Alamogordo today for our next adventure. I have some things on my little itinerary of things I'd like to do while I'm in town, and so I think I'm going to do that, and I'm going to start off with a coffee. But that'll all be on our next episode. Let me show you the rest of this campsite and also what it takes for me to get completely packed up again and ready to go. Okay, so this morning the birds are chirping. The breeze is just very slight. It's beautiful up here. It almost sounds like water somewhere, but I think it's just the breeze. Wow. I love camping in the forest. This is my favorite kind of camping, forest camping. Now, I didn't encounter any kind of crazy animals. I don't see any tracks around my camp or anything. I already looked around. So I think that while there are some reviews, again, going back to the checking reviews on various sites, there are some reviews of various kinds of animals coming through camp. I personally did not have an experience with that last night. Not saying that there are not, because I know this area definitely is known for some pretty big elk and things like that. And I've also seen in the reviews that there are some mountain lions in this area also. So be aware always. And I always tell people when you're camping in the forest, be bear aware. Even if you don't think that that might be an issue, keep all of your food like enclosed so that you're not greeting things to your camp and saying, hey, come over here, all you can eat buffet. But yeah, this has been nice. This has been super nice. Whoo, look at these trees. You know, you wouldn't think, especially seeing all the flatlands of New Mexico, as you're driving out here, that you would encounter a beautiful forest like this. You see a lot of flat, you see a lot of desert, but New Mexico also has some pretty cool forests. So yeah, just something to think about. Just something to think about. But now it's time to tackle all this. I'm going to go ahead and tie off my trash and put it in the front seat. I'm going to fold up my blankets. I'm going to make my bed. And then I'm going to make sure that everything is in driving mode. But I'm also going to get dressed. It really is about routine whenever you're doing van life. Just find what works for you and do it consistently, day to day. And it's just like a regular house. You need some kind of routine. You could just walk away from this and go down the road and start driving, but I guarantee that if you start doing that, it's going to start making you feel very enclosed in your space very quickly. So I like to keep a good routine, and I encourage you guys to also do that, and to comment below if you have anything kind of odd in your morning routine before you take off someplace. I'd really like to know. I just got dressed and it's starting to get windy up here again, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull out a jacket before we hit the road. A light one, not anything too heavy, but I want to show you where I have those. As you look into the van from the back, you'll notice I have my water, and then right here I have two little hooks that are just magnetic hooks that I can put my purse and then also my little jackets on. So I think I'm gonna grab this one for today because this is a nice length and weight. And yeah, that's gonna be good. Now, I found that bringing along a small bag like this is pretty perfect whenever I'm going to places. Like, for example, I got this whenever I went to Disney. I didn't want to carry a bulky bag like this. So this is a nice smaller bag that I can take whenever I'm going into different kinds of areas where I can still put my batteries and things like that in there, but it just gives me a smaller option. And I think that that's super, super important. But inside of this, I can also get additional storage because every little place that you can find storage in your van is important. So in here I have another bag, which is like a little drawstring bag, and I have my beanie and gloves. So that's where I keep all of that, and that way it's tucked away if I need it, but it's not in the way if I don't need it. I'm going to put this in the floorboard now until I can get to a gas station to throw it away, and we're going to unplug our lights. And the power station has a nice little space right over here in the shelf that it goes. See, both of those tuck in right there in front of the Blue Eddy, so that keeps them from going anywhere. Okay, everything's packed up. I went through my checklist. I made sure that everything is in its place and that it's locked down so it won't be moving. And now let's take on this road and show you guys what it looks like. can see, guys, this was the road we just came down, and there were a few little bumpy places on there, but nothing that was not manageable. I don't even have high clearance on my vehicle, and I was able to do it. So most vehicles should be able to make it. And you can see there are a few shuttles down here and things like that that stayed last night. So yeah, this is a great option for camping. Absolutely free, found it on freecampsites.net, researched it on the Forest Service site, and found out that it would be a wonderful place to stay, and oh, it was. Nice and quiet, I enjoyed myself, and I hope you enjoyed coming along with me for this one. If you have ever stayed at this campground right here, leave a comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And if you have not, but would like to add it to your list, let me know also. I'm super excited about sharing fun places like this, but remember, like I said at the beginning when we first arrived, leave it better than you found it. Pick up the trash, and we'll have places like this for a long, long time. Till next time, guys, bye!